I'm 52 now. When I went to school, I went to a really feminist girls' school in England. And every day they drummed into you, and this is like in the, what would this be, the 80s, drummed into you, you're as good as a man and you can do anything a man can do. And this is what they call second wave feminism. Honestly, they went on about it every single day. And it was a school you had to be academically quite, bright to go there. Yeah.
You're a bright girl. Very bright girl.
So, but what they failed, all these women teaching us, failed to tell us is, and then you'll have a baby. And it might change.
Right.
You're going to have to take some time off, or you're going to have to, even if you don't take time off, because I personally didn't take any time off, it's a nightmare juggling all these things in your life that are all conflicting. And as a modern woman, we were taught we can do it all. You can cope with all these things. You can look fantastic. Your husband thinks, you're a supermodel. You can be, one baby hanging off one tit kind of half an hour and then sort of change into a ball gown, go out.
Right.
And next morning I'm girl boss superwoman. It's not real. Nobody has that capacity to be all those things. And I think in turn, women do not understand. I don't think we do. It's taken me a lifetime to understand that men also have all these different things going on in their minds, worrying about providing, succeeding, finding a woman they'll love. All this stuff goes on that they never talk about. And then even if they're with a woman, they're constantly worried about stuff that we don't, as women, I don't think give a lot of value to that. We just, because if they don't say it, we're like, well, you're not saying it.
Right.
So we don't hear it. So we don't care. Whereas women, we talk all the time about stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I mean, like my mom, I think she's a little bit older than you, but she was raised in the same way where it's like, you have to have your career. And this is just the way she was raised. You have to have your career. And she had a really great career. And then she obviously had 2 babies. And I remember being at the office with her because she owned her own business. And that was obviously very hard for our family. Like you have to support the one who's making the money. And obviously my parents both worked. And it was really tough. And obviously I wish she was home more and like thinking about that like as an adult. But oh my God, am I so grateful that we have like now money in the family because she worked.
Yeah.
And now it's just really hard to balance that. Like I can't even imagine having to done what she did, which is like so much, but you can't not take that away from women if they don't want to. Like that's the hardest part about it.
100%. I think that's the thing that's been lost, that I think the most important thing I've learned going through having children, working, being a wife, all those different elements, is that the most important thing to me is choice.
Yes.
Is having the choice. I'm lucky that I married a man who was very accepting of whatever choice I made. And he is very traditional in the sense he's the rock. He doesn't talk about his emotions very much. He's the provider. That's his thing. He's like,
yeah,
I've got to deal with all of that. And he takes a lot on and he doesn't talk about it. And I think it took me a long time to realize that. I'm like, oh, you're not connected to your emotions.
Connecting to me enough.
Yeah, but actually you're trying to deal with a lot of stuff, but you don't want to put it on me because you don't want to worry me because I'm just going to like analyze everything. Whereas
as a woman does.
Yeah, whereas he's much better at dealing with all these sort of issues. That is not to say, because I know somebody will come for me and say that's bullshit or you're generalizing. And obviously these are generalizations because every woman and every man is a different person. But on the whole, I'm saying to you, observations from me, like you said, of the different men I know in my life, the different relationships I've had. And I would say, on the whole, the men that I've known, that I've dated, my father, my relatives, my husband, are men who've been fairly high achievers. So that is another whole aspect. And I know that is a very difficult thing too, because I think a lot of women are asking all men to be all things and all men are asking all women to be all things, and it's not necessary.
I think what's really amazing and what's this kind of ultra feminism has brought out too, and this kind of scary misogyny that we're seeing.
Thanks so much for listening. Please rate and review this podcast and follow us on social at Sharing My Truth Pod, and leave us a voicemail on our website, sharingmytruth.com, to share your stories and experiences with us. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.